Greetings, listeners. I am your host this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production. You are about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. The previous report from our investigators. The investigation at the local police district comes to a close. The team gather their information and plan their next steps as they proceed to the Church of Contemplation.
And Althea, you said you were heading toward the coroners, or the people on sort of the bleeding edge forensics.
I might play a little politics.
Oh God!
And go and maybe make a little stop into the chief's office to see how things have been going lately.
Oh my God!
And to let them know that I'm still at their disposal if they need help. And if it's okay, I'm just going to maybe talk to a couple of people here about some things. Nothing he has to worry about. And maybe, if there's any event, I think they have a fundraiser, maybe, if there's anything like that that's going on, be sure to hit me up to get in touch with me, and I'd be more than happy to cover some of the cost.
Wow. Oh my God. How's that credit rating score?
50.
Okay, so you go upstairs.
As we go in and she splits off, I just kind of watch in awe, like,
You just watch me go up the stairs, and I'm just go up and I tap on a door, and I open up, and you hear me go, "Herbert, so nice to see you." And I just walk in.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, and then we'll take care of you.
Oh man.
Yes. So Herbert A. Wilson is Commissioner Herbert A. Wilson is sitting behind his desk, and yes, Ms. Goodyear, I'd like to thank you for all the forensics work. Forensics, I believe that's what you call it.
Yes.
Playing with the cadavers and such.
Yes, forensics. It's a very up-and-coming field. I quite enjoy it.
Yes. What do I owe this wonderful visit?
I just wanted to stop in and let you know that if there's anything that you need, I'm still at the disposal of the department.
Oh, of course,
for any medical work. And if it's quite all right, myself and a friend of mine are just going to be talking to a few of your good people here, just about some things that we've been researching for a book that I'm planning to write.
Oh, really?
Potentially. It's an idea right now, but I thought that the good officers here would be a fantastic source of information. Also, I also wanted to mention that if there's any kind of charity events or any such thing that comes up in the future, I am going to be in town for some time, so if you need some help with that, I'd be more than willing to help cover some of the cost, of course.
Ah, yes, like the policeman's ball, I'm sure, which we always put on every year, which is always nice. But may I just ask you a little question, Miss Goodyear?
Of course.
Exactly what kind of book? What is this book about? Basically, what information are you looking for?
Architecture.
Architecture?
Mm-hmm.
At the police station?
Yes.
What type of architecture?
Well, there are several buildings in the city that, have been destroyed either by fire or other means, and I thought that perhaps since I already knew some people here at the station, if there was anything that I wasn't already aware about, that I could potentially find out and make some notes.
So basically, buildings that have been destroyed, or basically anything tied to a criminal case.
Potentially.
As long, of course, as you stay away from any open cases. Of course, none of that could see print.
Oh.
They are open cases.
I would never dream of it. As I said, this is currently not even something that's... It's just an idea. It may not even come to fruition. And of course, I would respect our working relationship.
Oh, yes. I know for sure that you would respect our working relationship. And feel free to go talk to the officers about, what you're looking for. But I mean, if it's just about architecture or buildings that have been destroyed, I'm sure that wouldn't be an issue whatsoever.
I didn't think it would be.
No,
Thank you so much for your time.
not a problem. Not a problem.
You know where to find me if needed.
Yes. And of course, the policeman's ball. I'm sure that there will be,
An invitation?
and a donation.
Oh, yes, there's always a donation.
Yes, my dear. Yes. Fair enough. You do recall you haven't really had a conversation with Commissioner Herbert A. Wilson before. So you could tell right away when you walked in and, oh, Herbert, that he was just he recognized you, but he was taken a little bit by surprise. And you realized after leaving the room that he is a fairly shrewd individual, as befits the commissioner
Of the Boston Police Department.
Yes. You might have given him more information than he has given you, is my
that's fine.
main point.
I didn't even really give him anything.
Nope.
Are you sure about that?
Architecture. So lovely.
Yes. So I'm just going to fast track a little bit and say you leave the police station with the information you have, and you all meet up again. Go to the Hall of Records, and you all meet up again. It is around 4 p.m.
Did any of us get any... Are there any old photos or portraits of Mr. Corbett?
No.
No.
I wasn't able to find really any records of him at all.
When was it that they said that article that said that Walter Corbett, about his body being buried in the basement of his house? The obituary.
1866.
No, that's a little too far-fetched.
I don't think it is.
What?
When you work cases long enough, coincidences aren't really coincidences. Anyone notice the year upon which the Church of Contemplation was purchased?
Yes, I thought that was particular. 1917, the same year that the...
Well, I got a physical description of our Michael Thomas. Agatha, can you help me with one thing real quick?
Sure.
Skeet! Anyone ask? I don't ask him to leave the car. I'm gonna go to the car where he's in.
And I'm
Okay.
going with you, I'm assuming?
We're at the Hall of
Sure.
Records now, though, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you're
not
just
near the police
outside.
station. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. Skeet's just sitting down, just drinking away.
Skeet. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Do you ever meet Mr. Corbett? With Corbett Farmstead?
Oh, Walter Corbett.
Do you know anything about what he looked like?
No.
And why was the farmstead haunted?
Well, I mean, stuff just didn't grow around there.
Like, did you know when the haunting rumors started?
Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, wild years. Years beforehand, everyone's been staying away from that place forever.
And just as a quick clarification, that was the basement we went into that led into the mines, correct?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
the
Yep.
first.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone just sort of stayed away from that. You know, it was a weird family, right? Just a weird family. Apparently, he sort of kept to themselves or whatever.
Weird family, you said. How many members of the family were there?
No, I just meant it's a weird family farms. Like,
Yeah.
of course there'd be a
There's
family.
no
They
one
never.
else that lived in the family? No one that moved away after?
I mean, oh,
Alright, just
I don't know. I mean, it was cursed. So I'm assuming they left.
Was it always the Corbett farmstead?
as long as any other farms have blood. Alright.
Amos, describe Thomas to Skeet. Ask if he might have seen a man that looked like the
Oh.
description.
Yeah, have you ever seen a picture, portrait, or description of a, an aged man, X like scar on the side of his
Like a
temple?
scar on the
Yeah,
side?
kind of like, I don't know, maybe he scratched his head too much in like an X-shaped fashion, I guess, around his temple.
Can I use a knowledge roll to see if I can recognize it, or the description being a medical thing? Like, would it be a lobotomy?
You can roll, yeah. We're rolling medicine, though.
Medicine? Okay. Yeah, no, that's not it. That's a no. That's like a 90 something and no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We actually didn't get the first name of anyone at Corbett Farm, just Corbett.
I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're playing a game and
Yeah.
if I throw out the wrong name, I don't want to count.
No, and I
Do
just
you understand
double.
what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I'm being particular and careful.
Yep.
Yeah, that, and I
Especially
just
at the
looked
point
back
where
and
you're
double
doing a lot
checked,
of
and all I
research.
wrote down
Exactly.
for that was just
Yeah.
Corbett.
Next careful thing I want to do is as soon as we're done talking to Skeet, I want to go out of earshot of him, and I want to bring you three all close. I also learned one other thing from my buddy Billy.
What's that?
There is a not strictly an arrest warrant, but there is a search warrant for Mr. Wilson Bottom.
What? Why?
It would seem that the government has locked down Swill's Gullet upon our departure, claiming a gas leak that seems to have poisoned and killed everyone in town. And that, I don't know if it's because Skeet's a suspect. I would suspect that that's probably the reasoning for it. But all the shirts in town are looking for Skeet right now. It may be best to return to the mansion just to drop him off and give him back to your butler, and then return ourselves.
I'm fine with that. There's no need for him to be out around if it's a possibility that it could bring trouble for him and for us.
Yeah, we can get in a lot of trouble.
I suggest we don't tell Skeet that. Though. He's
No.
already kind of frail.
No, I would claim it as we need to go get some supper. We plan to be gone late, and Cadbury might need his help.
That sounds fine to me. Yeah.
Very well. I just worried that. Was there anyone left in the town when it was shut down by the military?
Well, let's talk about it more in the car. Let's not waste time. Let's get in the car and talk about it, because I want to talk a little bit more about the case itself too. I found out a couple more bits of information about the church.
Okay.
So, in the car driving. So other than the bit I already mentioned to you, the description of Michael Thomas, they don't got any records of him. Soon after his escape from the Charleston prison, though, the military came in and claimed all the records. That's why you can't find anything. They took it all. And similar sort of thing as they're doing to Swill's Gullet and looking for Skeet right now. The one other thing I got to mention is one thing that they don't have in any of the articles. One thing they do have is 3 policemen died in the raid.
Yeah.
The other 37 officers.
No, I had 21 officers. Oh, officers killed? Are you talking about the officers that were killed?
Hang on a sec. Wait, what?
Never said no.
Oh, okay. I thought you made a motion.
Nope.
Wait, you have records of 21 officers?
In one of the newspaper articles I read, but those are just the officers that were killed.
No. What my buddy was telling me is 3 officers died. 40 went in.
Oh, sorry. 17 cultists died. I'm sorry. I got. What was this about? 40 officers went in.
40 officers went in. 3 died. Within the 5 years it took for Michael Thomas to escape prison, all 37 other officers either died in the line of duty or wigged out of town and left. None of them stayed in Boston.
No, there must be someone left. That's not. I mean, it's not so unusual
That's
for.
a large amount of people.
It's not so unusual for someone to
There's a reason why it
quit their
particularly
job and
sticks
move
out.
elsewhere, but for that many?
One of the reasons what spooked them all into leaving is the state of the church when they went in. Mr. Thomas was eating the children. And
I'm sorry, what?
eating the children in bouts of insanity, believing that by doing so he would live forever. Screaming words like relay and Rusha or something. Just gibberish. But what I will say is any of the kids he did kidnap, it's the reason why only the 37 officers and whoever they arrested came out, no kids. He ate them.
Yeah, that would mentally scar anybody.
Which means that
How did
it hasn't been cleaned out since then.
he only end up going to Charleston? I mean, that feels like something for
Like a mental institution?
like Arkham, perhaps.
impressive. Arkham's closer than Charleston. They got an asylum there. I don't know why they wouldn't have sent him there.
Well, even Danvers would be. Well, I don't know about the equipment there, but I mean, like, why would. You would almost think that would be an insanity plea.
Well, I'm going to shoot out a theory. And maybe shooting out this theory will let everyone else help out with figuring out if it's absolutely crazy or not. I'm wondering if Michael Thomas started going by the name Walter Corbett.
I was wondering that myself.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Well, there is a Walter Corbett that bought it as soon as he escaped. So maybe he took the name from an older feller. But at the very least, I feel like he came back and purchased the church again under the name Walter Corbett. Or maybe Michael Thomas is the fake name. I don't know. I'm assuming that they're one and the same. I'd like to go forward with
It's
that.
a bit of a leap.
You know,
If this is a man who's so far gone and as mad as you say, would he have the logic, for reasoning to?
Cognitive
It-
enough
it
to have 20
depends.
cultists follow him.
it depends, because if you know, how hard do you try to keep a secret? Right? Doesn't matter if you're insane or not. If he's still like he could firmly believe that by eating kids gave him supernatural powers.
You said
If he firmly believes he can pretend to be somebody else, it could be very convincing, even for himself.
Yep.
Like it.
Oh, I
It's
don't.
not
I
a
don't
real
deny that
possibility.
he might have enough of a mental break to believe he is whoever he believes he is, but to then have the wherewithal and the logical ability to have enough money to purchase a building under that name.
Well, let's put it this way. Anyone disagree with this with the following statement that record keeping has gotten better in the past 50 years?
Well, in 50 years, yeah.
50?
Well, yeah, probably
Yes,
yes.
my point. So, with our investigation today, you mean to tell me that no one could find anything about a Walter Corbett after his supposed death in 1866 when he purchased a church in 1917 owned previously by a man who also has no record prior or since? If they're not the same person, they're closely related.
I don't believe a man that mad would be able to do that.
My
Which
point
the
is-
frightening bit is means there is another
Yeah.
cultist.
That may be it as well. My point is, well, here's the thing: if he has a cultist capable of covering up his tracks, then he's convincing enough to get someone to do his work for him.
Did we have any information about when that church was built?
No,
No, it's all gone.
those records are we have the file folder, but it's been emptied. Someone has taken the records.
So what we found, the church
government.
was located in an area where a church normally would not be located.
No, it was just on the outskirts of town.
Also, interesting fact: Billy was working the case. He found it very interesting and wanted to check out, just kind of professional curiosity, check it out. He says no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't find the church. Couldn't follow a map. Couldn't retrace his steps. Couldn't find it.
We have the address.
Very similar to your basement. I'm not drawing too much of a conclusion there. I wanted to just throw it out there.
You're making rather large leaps.
That one's a large leap. But I do believe that I don't think it's a large leap to go with Michael Thomas and Walter Corbett.
I think it's too much of a leap for the amount of information we have now. It's certainly worth investigating, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's. I think it's
As
far too
much-
early to draw any
Well,
conclusions.
it's not concrete, but
As much as I was against it this morning, the saying goes, seeing is believing. We have a physical address.
We do.
We can check out to see if it is a church, or maybe it's the address to something else. Regardless, that's the only
Yep.
lead we have. And we're kind of wasting daylight in a sense. We're back in the mansion. We could grab some lanterns and everything, make sure we're a little bit more prepared. But I think we should just maybe not go inside the church, but at least scope out to see if we can even find it. If you had your friend find it.
judging from Swill's gullet and then our experiences there, I would say that perhaps we don't go in when it's dark. we spent whatever daylight we got left. Yeah, I agree with you. Scoping out as much of the chapel as we'd like until it gets dark.
And maybe there might be residents around. Maybe we can ask them a couple questions.
Sure.
Not a bad
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
Like
a great
whether
idea.
or not there used to be a house where the church now is.
Yeah.
I
I would say let's get prepared.
What if it was converted? It's the Church of Contemplation. I mean, that's kind of an interesting name for a church. 20 cultists. I wouldn't be surprised if the church is more of a definition by name and not by
the actual
legality.
architecture and stuff like
Church,
that?
Church of Contemplation, our Lord of... What was it?
Granter of secrets.
Granter of
That
Well,
seems a
let's go
little
then.
Culty.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Go grab some lanterns.
All right, who wants to talk to Skeet once we get to the
I'll
house?
talk to Skeet. I'm
Yeah,
his
because I'm
employer,
assuming
actually.
you're.
Yeah.
Were you outside the vehicle just then, or inside the vehicle?
I think
on
we
the
were
way?
outside.
Outside.
Outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I would
Skip.
mention that I wanted to mention the Swill's gullet bit outside, and then the investigation happens in the car.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll just tell Skeet.
Yeah.
We are going to have to go out on yet another errand, but I was thinking that I could drive the car. Perhaps you could stay here at the house this time.
So you're on your way to the house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I could be helpful, miss.
Oh, you've been more than helpful today, but I'm just afraid that perhaps you're wearing yourself out a little bit. I would feel so much better myself personally if you got some rest, and then perhaps tomorrow we can go on another errand.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Cool. Oh, well, I mean, maybe I could go visit my cousin.
You could also, well,
Ooh,
That would be
Question is-
Ulrich Fannin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be good.
I'm sure he'd be happy to see you.
Well, you can just let me out. Here, I can make my way there. So I don't want to be out of the way. Or...
are you sure?
we're still in
Are you
Boston.
sure that you wouldn't want
We're
to
on our way.
stay
You're on your way, yeah.
at the
Because you had all the
house?
talk outside,
Yeah.
and then you came in and you're on
Are
your
you
way.
sure that you would prefer to stay at the house?
Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll stay at the house and yeah, because maybe I'd be just if I can't track him down, then
We'll worry about that later. You just go and get some rest first.
okay.
More orange juice too.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm feeling
you'd
sleepy.
Like that.
It's like I had all this energy for hours and hours and hours, and
Yeah.
now I'm just feeling tired and sleepies. Schmeepies.
I'm assuming by the time we get back,
He's
you're
asleep like a kid, just his head back, snoring.
Alright, bring him into the house.
He needs to be brought into the house.
Yeah, he sort of staggers on into the house.
I don't
I'm
really
assuming
want
Cadbury's
him
gonna
to
help
go
him.
and see his cousin until we determine whether or not the military have already contacted his cousin.
Yeah.
Family that's nearby.
He also needs a good disguise. I think those overalls are gonna kind of give
Yeah.
him away.
Alright, so let's go grab some of my bigger photo equipment and let's go out the front of this chapel.
We should probably. So I'm going to say this as we're driving. Might be a good idea to let Skeet know that the military is looking for him, just so that he doesn't wander the streets of Boston.
Well, it's okay. So you just arrived at the house,
Oh, okay.
and
yeah.
Skeet staggers
Yeah.
in.
We can tell
And you're
Cadbury
getting
to
your
make
stuff.
sure
Yeah.
Just want to make
he's
sure
not
people
going
aren't
to
jumping, so
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Cadbury can give him something that helps him sleep.
Yeah, Cadbury helps. Yeah, comes out. Oh, come on, Skeet. And he helps him on into the house.
And
No big deal.
I'll just put my hand on Cadbury's shoulder and said, to really help him sleep.
And he just winks his eye in a very obvious wink.
But not
Yes,
obvious.
ma'am.
As long as it's not obvious to Skeet, doesn't matter.
Skeet won't know.
No, Skeet doesn't pick up on obvious things.
No, for Skeet. All right.
Just
What's
some
obvious?
things.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So once Skeet is safely packed away in the house,
Yep.
and Agatha has as many guns and torches and lanterns as she wants.
Oh, I've got my Lee Enfield. I have a coat. I've got a lantern for myself. I got rope. I don't know why, but you always
Rope
need
is
rope.
always
Here's your fucking rope.
rope is always useful.
And are you bringing a medical kit? I'm assuming. Oh wait, your
Yes.
car is freaking loaded. I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
I'm
have
worried.
a
While they're loading up, I wouldn't mind seeing what photography equipment is in the apartment or in the mansion. Is there anything worth taking with?
Cadbury says he hasn't had a chance since you left a few hours
Yeah.
previously
Okay.
to really track it down. But he'll make sure that
Swing by my place real quick and just grab some extra stuff like flash bulbs and stuff.
it's up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Figure we're gonna scope it out and then return. I'll probably develop photos over the evening and we can go back tomorrow.
Okay, so you gather up your supplies, fully intent on going to the church.
Yep.
Hop in the vehicle, go over to Amos's apartment, bust up some flashes and stuff. As you leave Amos' apartment, it's around 6:45, 7 o'clock. So the sun is going down. It's been, lately the sun's been going down around 8 o'clock.
June, summer solstice, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's early June.
On this particular day in May of 1923, the sun goes down at 8:07.
Probably Google.
Just to be clear.
Oh,
You don't know that, but just to be clear.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The year
Well-
won't matter. You can just look up the
Like I
month.
said.
8:07. 8:07.
Look at that. Yeah. Like I said, let's scope out the front, maybe look in some windows, take some pictures, develop them tonight, go back tomorrow first
So
thing.
Sure.
take at least half an hour or more to drive there. How do we end up doing this when it's getting dark again?
That's why I said let's not go in the place
Outside.
It's also
once it's
wise.
dark. It's outside and looking in windows.
What if it calls to me? I'm just kidding. Let's go.
What?
Oh, what?
her.
Wacky. No, I'm sorry.
There. You start heading toward the Church of Contemplation. Finally.
Oh dear.
Althea driving. Who's shotgun?
Me.
And Agatha shotgun and Amos and Marion in the back. Okay, so you're all in the Packard Twin 6 and you're heading toward, finally, the Chapel of Contemplation. Nice investigation, trying to figure out as much as you could before you head there. Sun is going down.
Of course it is.
As you have the address on the outskirts. It does, Althea, it does take you a while for some reason. Just driving around, even knowing the location
Yeah, for
and
some
everything
reason.
else. As you do finally pull up, and it's basically this stone wall curved all around in this industrial area on the outskirts with like warehouses on either side. And as you just pull up to the curb, you can see just off to the side, there's a large archway with looks to be a rusted gate there. And it's like a wall completely around 10 feet high, completely surrounding. And there's a little plaque there that has the number for this address. That's
It's
just
a
off.
rusted gate, you said?
Yeah, there's a rusted gate. You're all still in the Packard. This is just you pulling up, and you think this is it.
Doesn't look like there's this giant monastery behind it or whatever.
I think we're in the right place.
I don't see any like steeples or anything like that. Like,
No, you're really close to the wall, though.
oh, it's the wall.
Yeah,
Well-
okay, so you're pulling up, let's say you pull up to the curb, and maybe 5 to 10 feet away from you is where the stone wall starts. The closer you are,
Right, that's
Yeah,
right.
the
yeah,
less
yeah.
you can see.
That's right.
So okay.
Plus, it's also getting dark.
I'm gonna turn to Amos and say, "Would you be able to take pictures in this light? If we went up to the gate and looked through?"
If I have time to set up these bulbs, I can take some, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, we have to take them within the next hour.
Let's go.
So there's no residence nearby. It's all industrial.
Yeah, it looks like warehouses and stuff on either side.
Okay, so that explains that
It's
where a
industrial
church
area.
wouldn't necessarily be.
Mm-hmm. And also very easy to overlook. It did take you a while to find it.
So it's well hidden.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to be looking for it.
Yes,
Very
specifically.
All right, well, I guess.
I get out of the car.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
as you all get out of the Packard, you do notice right away that just on top of the archway there are 2 ravens, and they're just standing up there, and both of them on top of the archway seem to be looking at you as you're exiting the vehicle.
Oh, I
You
hate
as in
these
us in
birds.
general, or
Yeah, just
specific-
ravens. Just
Didn't we? Swill's gullet have like. That was a. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a giant raven head thrown at my face.
These are normal-sized ravens.
Yes.
They're fairly large, but they're no bigger than.
like
Than a
Big
common
Murray.
raven. They're regular common ravens.
Great White North turkeys.
Well, I mean, they're not exhibiting anything outside normal raven behavior so far. They
Good,
do
so
look
far.
They do look into your souls pretty well.
Let's.
You walk past a raven,
Mm-hmm.
they stare right into you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, food. Basically.
No.
Anyway,
All right. So the gate is there like a padlock on it? Or?
Okay, so as you walk on up to the gate, are you all walking on up together as a unit?
Yes.
I would like everyone to roll a willpower roll.
Oh gosh.
And it's going to be a hard willpower roll, so half of that or less.
Then
Oh, you gotta be
no.
kidding me.
I rolled a 38. My willpower is a 65, so half of that would be 32. So no.
Wait,
Amos?
did you say it's a hard?
Hard.
Oh shit. 79 out of 40. Would have just barely been a regular one.
Althea has 41 out of 40.
Oh, it's the second time today.
So the hard for willpower is
So it's half.
35. I rolled an 84.
Okay, so everyone failed this roll.
No.
You, all as you're walking up and you're looking at the ravens and you're just about to get to the gate, you all feel a little tingling in the base of your spine. And you all slightly get like a headache, just really quickly. Very reminiscent of when you were approaching that stone on the Montgomery farmstead. The same feeling?
I look at the stone in my hand. Is there any difference?
No, there isn't. But as you're all just quickly just get this flash like a headache, you look over and Agatha's nose is bleeding.
Agatha.
And then just as quick as it comes, the headache goes away.
Ah. Sorry, guys.
I hand you a handkerchief.
Thank you, Marion. That's weird. I haven't gotten these in, since Will's Scarlet.
Take a picture of the birds.
And as you look up to take the picture of the birds now, there are now 7 ravens. All like 2 still above the archway, but there's 5 others just interspersed in the wall.
You know,
They all
guys-
seem to be looking at you.
Call me crazy, but I'm getting the idea. Could you imagine there was a motion picture of a growing flock of birds that attacked people? I feel like that would be. I feel like that would be a huge hit. Anyway, moving on.
You say very strange things.
That's true.
Is a group of ravens also called a
A
murder
murder.
like
Yes.
crows are?
Or an unkindness.
It's an unkindness of ravens.
And
and
it's a
birds.
conspiracy of crows.
Oh, conspiracy. See, I was like, no, it's not murder, but it's something close.
Both of them could be called murders depending on what they're doing.
Is
Yeah.
is it crows or ravens?
It is ravens.
Oh, okay.
It's an unkindness of ravens if they're like muttering to each other.
Are they muttering to each other?
They all seem to be staring quite intently in your general direction.
All right. If I start seeing invisible birds on someone's shoulder talking to them, I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm just roll rock
Haven't
with them.
already. Are you
What?
taking photos?
Yes. I get closer to the gate. Does my head hurt more?
Okay, so is everyone else also moving closer to the gate with him?
I want to
Yes.
look at the placard on the wall.
Sure, not a problem. Althea?
I'll just move closer to the gate and
'Kay.
kind of just, looking around in general because it is getting dark and such. So.
Okay, so first off, you're in an industrial part of town, so there's the smell of grease and oil and smoke. It doesn't smell too good in this area. It generally doesn't smell good in Boston at all during this time period. But as you move right up to the gate itself, you notice that that smell just completely goes away. You can't smell nothing. There is no smell,
Was there any
which is weird in an industrial area.
Yep.
Was there any activity as we were driving up here? Like we're in an industrial area. It's not like super late in the evening or anything, is it?
You do not notice. Now, as you were driving around trying to find the place, of course, you did see people working and stuff like that. But as you finally found this area, all the warehouses and stuff nearby, there was nobody working around them.
Do they appear
And the
to
more you
still...
think about it, they seem to be abandoned.
Okay.
How is this gate sealed?
It looks like it's slightly open.
What?
And it's literally just a latch that slots over. Now you could put a lock on it, but there is no lock.
I see any
There.
leftover chains or padlocks as if somebody was
No,
forced.
no, just seems slightly open. And as you look through the gate, because you can't help but look through, you can see what appears to be a little path, and it's a very large lot. And this wall seems to circle as all of it as far as you can see. It seems to go up slightly up a hill. Not a high hill, but slightly up on a slope. And you can just see a church off in the distance.
How far does it look to be? Actually, I'm not there. I'm at the placard.
I'll just take a picture of the winding path and the latch itself to look at later.
Looks to be about 50 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. You go over to the placard, and it is just the number.
Oh, okay.
So 10125 Industrial Avenue.
Tell me we're in the wrong place. This is really creepy.
No, this is the right place.
All right.
And in fact, I think the fact that it's creepy is further evidence that this is the right place.
I don't want that to be the case. All right. I push open the gate and I start going on in.
There's a loud squeak as the gate sort of resists where it's so rusty and everything else.
Yeah.
This-
I'm
So
going-
as it creaks, I kind of look at the ravens to see what the reaction is.
Nothing really. As you're closer to the gate and you look up at the ravens now, they seem to be looking at the car. Where you had left the car and they were looking at you. When you moved closer, they didn't focus on you walking away. They just focused on the vehicle. If you know what I mean, they're not looking down at you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
looking straight ahead.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna have my Lee Enfield at the ready. I'm not taking no chances.
I find that odd. I want to go back to the car and see if I can draw the birds' attention. Not like throwing things at them. I just want to see if they're just not acknowledging us. What? I don't know. Curiosity sake.
So you move back to the car, and it looks like now that there's 12 ravens, they all seem to be looking at you, standing next to the car.
If I move down the street, do they follow me?
No, they seem to be focused on the car.
Althea, I have a feeling like your car is going to need a good cleaning afterwards. I head back up to that.
It's usually the case whenever I use it, not following us.
It's unsettling, right? Like it's a very unsettling how these ravens are.
Yes, yes, it is.
Would it be stupid if I shot a gun up in the air, like just to try and see if it'll spook them?
I can't really attest to the fact if that would be stupid or not.
I'm asking.
okay.
Sorry, I'm asking. Sorry.
I would prefer if there's anybody here that they not know that we're potentially here.
Or
That's
call the
fair.
police.
That
Yeah,
too.
that makes
That's
sense.
fair.
Let's just how big is the so this fence goes all the way around the church.
It's massive.
And the church 50 feet up a path.
Yep.
So it's a 50-foot radius of yard.
You can't really see on the other side to see if it goes back. Like, you don't know if it's a perfect circle.
Right. I see. Okay. I'll kind of look around the yard as we are walking up.
So
towards the house.
you are entering the gate now then?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Our next episode of The Call will air Tuesday, July 16th. In the meantime, Tuesday, July 9th is the next episode of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. The game system used today was the Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music, sound effects, and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Sirenscape. You can find all Twisted Gear Studios' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or Keeper, this evening was Derek Snow. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.